Jen Flores.
Oh, we got echo. Echo Bendeco.
So how you doing?
Good. Getting ready for this fight.
Getting ready. Yeah, it's 2 weeks from now, right?
No, like a week. It's not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. This is for Spar Stars.
Spar Star.
Amazing. So you train hard. The coach let you have the day off today just to come and do the interview. And
No days off.
No days off,
We
huh?
trained this morning. We had our pressure test.
Wow.
So
This is part of the training. CSW sends us their guys to get them ready for camera.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
We're part of the crew.
So you trained this morning. What time did you train? What time you start?
9:30 every morning. Usually I do a run before, but not today because we have our pressure test. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's like kind of like a mock fight to help us get ready for our actual fight, and it went really well. And I'm excited to fight. Honestly,
That's dope.
I'm so excited.
It gets you ready for that adrenaline dump.
Oh yeah, definitely. Work out all, everything, see what you might need a little bit more work on or whatever, see if you're ready. And I definitely feel ready.
How do you feel about that slap?
Oh man, I'm always ready for that. That gets you like so
That's what I
hyped
wanna
right when
know.
you're about to walk in. Oh yeah.
I dig it. That's the right way to be. I mean, it brings you into the fight mode, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm still requesting that slap one day. I want to feel that. I want to feel that Badger slap. Just
I got you.
He's my only friend that wants to. He's my only friend that wants to be slapped by another man.
I mean, she said she got me, so I want to just.
Oh, I can understand Jennifer. She tough as nails, but
Yeah, I mean, the last fight, she kicked some ass
Oh yeah.
over at Commerce. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was my first fight
Oh, really?
ever. Never.
So
not
how'd
even.
that feel? How'd that feel when you that big audience, you have your first fight in that cage, and they announce your name, you just. How'd that feel?
It felt really good. I honestly felt like really comfortable, considering it was my first fight and being in front of a crowd like that. But I think it has a lot to do with my jiu-jitsu background. I've done so many tournaments, like huge tournaments where there's just tons of people and stuff, and I've just been competing all my life since I was little. Like I've always done sports, I've always trained, so it felt natural.
So
honestly,
from jiu-jitsu, did you also wrestle too?
I never
Just
wrestled.
Jiu-jitsu all the way since you were young until.
Well,
she's on a catch wrestling team, bro.
Yeah, now
High school wrestling.
I get you. I get you.
I didn't do any high school wrestling or any wrestling actually, or jujitsu, any like martial arts until I actually got out of high school. When I was 18, I found jujitsu kind of on accident actually, and that was it. Like my first day of doing a jujitsu class, I knew like this is what I wanted to do, and
That's cool.
trained every day. Like
A lot of people say that, especially when they come from some other kind of sport, because it pushes you,
Oh,
And
yeah.
you don't get that after high school or college, right?
Exactly. That's what I was looking for because I always competed, and once I got out of high school, I was like, Mom, like I'm so bored. I don't have anything to do. Like I'm not like there's nothing feels as good as like winning. It's just
That explains
adrenaline.
everything about you. I like that. It's honest.
Yeah, I love it. So
Do you have a favorite fighter that you might emulate or want to be like?
I really like Rose Namajunas,
Yeah.
and she's just like very well rounded, and just her technique and everything. She's really smart. So like probably something like that. Amanda Nunes is
Oh, yeah.
really cool. She's a
Right.
beast. One day I want to fight her. That would be,
that be
that's my
something?
dream. So
That'd be crazy.
I want to be world
You
champion.
hear that?
one day, so
The lioness? We got a competitor right here.
coming.
Right? She's coming.
I got to work my way up still, but it's
She
definitely-
can really throw, though. I don't know that anybody, I mean, that's why she is where she is. She can really put people down.
Oh yeah, she hits hard.
And even Cyborg, I mean, is that, when you look at that, right? I don't know. Amanda's just a
She's
beast.
different.
She's
Definitely different. She is really good, and
Yeah.
I honestly have a lot of respect for her. Like she's awesome.
I don't know if Ronda would have had her reign if Amanda got a hold of her early.
No, yeah.
Just two different kinds of animals. But that's cool that you're looking at that. I know the Hawaiians got something to say about that. Now tell me.
Just realized we watched her 3 times recently. Subversive, TGN.
Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've watched Jennifer, TGN, Subversive, and then Spar Star. We're fans, so in case you're wondering,
Thank you.
we follow you.
I had a question about like, did you go to, was it Russia or wherever the?
No, so I ended up not going. I made the
That's
USA
right.
grappling
You
team.
made that, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so I was supposed to have a match, but the opponent, like, something happened. She ended up pulling out. So I automatically had a chance to go, but then I couldn't find my passport, and it was like a huge thing. And then I didn't know if I was gonna fight again. And honestly, I'm more focused on fighting rather than grappling right now.
Sure.
So a fight will always come before that, So
That's important. No, there's a differentiation between the two. One, you can tap out. The other one, you're having someone that wants to take your head off. Very different stories. They end very differently. However, your grappling is at a high level. So when we're watching a competition, such as when we saw at TGN, was that submission series only, Robert?
What?
It's TGN?
subversive.
Subversive is what it was. That's right.
Yes, the team one.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing like a that style of tournament and
Sure.
stuff, and it was really fun.
Teams are
like,
cool, right?
yeah, and Brittany Elkin was super awesome. She was strong. That
Talk about
girl
a
was
different
so
kind. That's right. You
strong.
had her. Yeah, that's.
She was so strong.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
did say
she-
the same thing.
Yeah, she came and found me after, and we had a good talk, and like she was super awesome.
And
yeah.
and that venue, that was unique too. I mean, that was just the way they set that up. I love that.
Yeah, it was cool.
You know?
It was a cool experience, definitely. Like, I love just the more experience I can get, like, the better.
Yep, I agree. I think they kind of set the bar for grappling too. The way that the production is, it feels like an MMA fight.
Yeah, that's
know?
what I really liked about it. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, we dug it too. We love watching you do that. But the team thing, it's something Robert and I have done with Gym Crashers. We have a team competition. We did twice, three times.
Yeah.
So we had one at Norwalk at US 5. We had one in Galveston, Texas, and then we did one here in San Pedro. We're looking to do another one very soon. But
Ben and her-
yeah, Ben was in our.
Oh, wait, yeah. I was there.
And
when you
Machete was
guys-
there too. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I watched that
That's
one.
cool.
Yeah.
That was our thing.
Yeah.
That's
That
it.
was
Mariachi,
cool.
mariachi. I get Machete and mariachi always mixed up.
Which is a wrestler from.
Yeah, we got it. Okay. It's our Spanish is all retarded.
Oh, she got the witch and sweet. Drop the belt.
Right? Yes. He makes mistakes. It's okay though. We love you.
Jacob.
He was high.
Jacob Ben
He's sober
and
now.
Javi, yeah.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing was, Javi contacted me for our very first one.
Oh, really?
And CSW's been in. Everyone we've had here, CSW had a team.
Oh yeah, they went shirtless. So CSW shows up at
Of course.
our little dojo in Norwalk. We were running this place over there with Legends Boxing. Is that what it's called? Legends Boxing. And the team show up, gi, no gi, whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden CSW just strips it off like Spartans. Yeah, I don't think they asked. I think they stripped and then said, "Is this
And
okay?"
then, like 10 minutes later, after the rules meeting, there goes the freaking shirt.
Shirts off.
Right?
No, I thought I was watching Magic Mike.
Who was on that team though?
It was Javi.
So Javi didn't make it. Javi competed in
I forget.
League or something that
Really?
weekend.
I
Yeah.
thought Javi was for sure.
No, it was
I remember that. Though.
it was that dude that's I think he's Hispanic, but he looks like a Samoan.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude.
Oh,
No,
Tom,
it's
not
Nick, because I know
Tommy.
Nick.
No?
He's a
Not Tommy?
bigger guy.
Oh, Mike did something.
I don't remember Tommy.
It's Tommy.
Okay.
Tommy?
Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy.
The younger dude, he's got a funny name on Instagram, the professionalist or the journalist or some weird name.
Ethan?
Ethan.
Yeah, that's
Ethan.
He's cool. Yeah, that's it. Professor Finesser, that's it.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Good handle, but I'm like,
Right? He's a wild man. He's a wild man. Seriously.
And
He's good.
Little tiny Hispanic kid.
I don't remember.
Like 110 pounds.
Well, that's how they made the weight class, because it's team. You have to make the weight.
110 pounds, dude. But yeah, they've been in the first.
Getting back to Jennifer. We get sidetracked, but we can do that. It's that kind of show.
I got sidetracked too, so.
Training right now, obviously, it's pretty strict with CSW. And I can't give away your strategy because I know you got one. But we're less than a week out. Is it time to let the body rest a little bit and just lightly spar, or are you still taking it very hard all the way up until the day of the fight?
So the hard part's pretty much over. The last week is pretty much just moving around, cutting weight and stuff. We're still training, just not as hard as usual, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the last
When you visualize a fight, or if you do visualize before going into a fight, is the finish because you have a strong grappling background? The idea of finishing, is it with a choke, with some kind of a lock or something grappling related, or do you really feel confidence in your hands thinking, I'm going to throw until I have to get them on the ground?
I love this question right now. I do visualize the fight all the time. Like, I feel like I have a lot of tools to use that I don't see ever like just one thing. I just go through all the things that I could possibly finish with. And a lot of it, honestly, probably like half is finishing on the ground or something like that. And half is like seeing like a knockout or something, because I really try to be honest with myself and work on the areas that I feel like I need to work on. And one of those, especially when I first came to CSW, was striking, because I never had any background really in striking, any prior knowledge, but I had all this jiu-jitsu experience and I'm super confident in it. You know, I still go to Eric Paulson's class all the time just to like keep up on it.
Animal. He's just an animal.
But mostly I've just really been working with Coach Dale on my boxing and striking and stuff, and it's gonna be good. I can't wait to like show everybody like what I've been working on.
When I see the videos of Eric Paulson going through steps to a finish, it seems like he wants to destroy someone.
He's a savage.
Yeah, it's
He's
not
a
about
savage.
tapping people out. It's about hurting someone.
Hurting him.
Literally.
them
It's
being,
the
like,
real
meanest
game. You know what I mean?
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally devastating any part of their body where they cannot come back. That's how he attacks it. You know,
Yeah.
there's no tap, tap, tap. None of that.
Even like him being older and stuff, like he'll demonstrate a move and it's just so quick and
He's
like
swift.
sudden, and like he'll demonstrate moves on me and I'm like, oh my gosh, my arm
Yeah.
is gonna break.
Yeah, I
It's gonna
know.
rip off.
It's funny that, well, I think that's the philosophy of a lot of strong teachers, is that they're going to put it on you. Because I felt that way myself. Like, you know, you didn't have to rip my arm off. And like, yeah, I did. You wouldn't know
You
how to
gotta
attack
feel
it
it.
otherwise, right?
That's true, yeah.
So
honestly.
you train the way that you fight. So if you're going to go about it lighthearted, you may get into your fight and be very lighthearted about it, because it'll appear like a grappling match, but no, it's a fight. So you better break that thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's like training with guys. Like, I don't really train with any girls except for Landria, and she's the only girl I've ever met that's pretty similar to me in that sense.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Savage.
Savage. Exactly. Like, I've never
Mean.
trained with another girl that was like that and like down to, you know, train like that.
Yeah, down to scrap.
Yeah. A lot of them aren't.
They don't have that switch. I don't see it a lot. I respect it in you and Alandria that you know when to flip that switch. You know what I mean? It's not patty cake.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So I really like watching both of you for that reason. You know we're going to get fireworks. You know we're going to get an explosive fight when you or Alandria step in, no matter who the opponent is. Because you're going to give it.
Yeah.
You're going to give the show to the people what they want to see. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But it's just the way you guys fight and the way you guys are, your belief.
Yeah.
Now I
Exactly.
have a quick question. On the fight that's happening, right in the middle, of course, of Thanksgiving, and you have to make that weight. How's your Thanksgiving going to be this year to maintain all that good food, and then next day you have to go weigh in and then the fight?
I'm gonna be having a salad probably. I'm gonna ask my family to save me some leftovers.
Right on. Right on.
Leftovers are still good. So
Leftovers bomb.
yeah.
So Joey's got an American Indian on his hand, and we're not political, but it seems to me that the right way to be is to be thankful every day. Every time I sit down with my friend over there, my little producer, it feels like Thanksgiving. We sit down and we eat. You can tell. We eat. You know what I mean? That Polynesian style, we eat.
Oh, yeah.
We get down. Like, we go to buffet and they want to shut it down on us. We're those guys. They're like, yeah, get those fucking... We're going to lose money. Raise the price. So we're thankful all the time. But Joey brings up a valid point. So I'm not a turkey guy. I don't need to eat turkey. I'm not excited about that.
Brisket. You can have.
No, I get it.
Ribs.
But do you personally get excited about Thanksgiving, since it kind of represents something other than being thankful?
Well, do I? Well, if
I'm just curious.
Well, for me being Native, Thanksgiving is more of a different celebration, because being Native American, Thanksgiving wasn't the best day for our people.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Sure.
So, but we still celebrate because we get the family together because that's when everybody gets together. We're having a good feast. That means we have everything.
You make the best of it.
Make the best of it.
Yeah.
And we're thankful for I'm thankful every day when I wake up and breathe. But of course, this year Thanksgiving's gonna be a little different for me because a little smaller.
Oh, so that brings up a valid question. I realize we have a guest. So you're picking on her because she can't eat. What are you gonna eat?
I'm gonna eat very light because I've lost over I don't know how many 500 pounds last year. Now I'm down to 295 because I got surgery done, so my stomach's this small.
Nice.
So I can only eat like 8 ounces of food. So I'm gonna have a little bit of turkey, a little bit of mashed potato, a little bit of macaroni and cheese, a yam, and some cranberry sauce.
And what's your favorite out of all that?
Oh man, I love
Stuffing?
No, I actually like the cranberry sauce out of a can. It looks like
Wow.
Jello.
Some people do. How about you, Jennifer? What's your Thanksgiving's coming? If it wasn't a fight, what do you
man.
pig out on? What's that one thing you want to throw down?
I honestly love food.
Yeah, me
so
You're talking to the wrong guy. I know. I love it.
all of it, but I really love turkey. Like
Really? I
yeah.
just said I hate turkey.
Everyone says they hate it. Like
I'll
my
eat
cousin,
it.
My cousin's like, I don't care for turkey. Like everyone says that they don't care for the Thanksgiving turkey, but honestly, I love
Oh, and it's
Thanksgiving.
like Christmas time. You have tamales, pozole. Oh, pozole.
Man,
No, I get
my
all
mom
those
makes
other
some
things, yeah.
bomb Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mom makes bomb Mexican.
Well, you got a turkey lover.
I know.
I like all the sides. I think people
I like
are
the sides
becoming
too,
more
though.
creative. Like, we're not getting the traditional Thanksgiving. So people are getting like stuffed mushrooms and artichokes and weird ass shit that I don't normally eat. I'm like, oh, damn. Now it's time to throw down. Like, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
That's the
especially
stuff.
with TikTok.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
so many like hacks and
Food
stuff.
porn, right?
Honestly, I watch it all the time just
Yes.
because like it teaches me like stuff about food.
Ideas,
I
yeah.
fucking love it.
Dude, food is an art form in itself.
It is.
It really can be, right?
Is,
and you
yeah.
make people very happy with it.
Yes,
Like Instagram chefs.
Yeah.
Some of them get creative.
dude, it's crazy.
I really,
So
it's an
crazy.
odd thing, but food, music, fighting, the art form that exists with each of those, that you can be creative. It is your palette.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that fight where you want to go. You put it where you want it.
It's all art, yeah.
Right? It is an art
Honestly.
form. It's a martial art for a reason. People don't just realize that it's not just savage and brutal,
Mm-hmm.
but you are creating what you want right there in the cage and doing or inflicting damage the way you want to, right?
Everyone's style is different too. Even that's how I feel when I go in. I'm like, this is when I'm in the cage. I just feel like this is my art and this is how I express myself and this is my canvas. Like that's exactly how I feel
Yeah.
every time.
There's a feeling of being whole after you have slugged it out with some of your best friends, whether they choked you, punched you, or vice versa. You got them, but you go home with a feeling you don't ever get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And you can't trade that for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you don't have that, it's really hard to find that. So
It's hard. I went to school for a while and I wasn't doing jujitsu for about like 2 or 3 years. There's a long gap before I came back a year ago, basically to CSW. But there's always like this void of just I wasn't getting something. I didn't know what it was until I came back and I was like, oh, this is what I was missing. And I decided to jump in 100% and that's where
wild.
I'm at now. So
that's cool.
Real quick, one of our viewers is saying, if you want to tighten up on your striking, Uncle George is ready. Good luck in your fight. Not talking about Uncle George, talking about Mr. Francis. But Mr. Francis needs to put on some girl fights because I think all he has is a bunch of guy fights. So once you get some girl fights in your card, Mr. Francis, he's ready to rock and roll all day.
That's right.
George Francis
I'm
from
always
Fighters
down.
Rep.
Oh, George, you're watching. Thank you, George. You had a wonderful event. Fighters Rep is the stand-in main event for Southern California. There is no ground. And it is exciting. It is here in Seal Beach. It's coming up again in February 4th. And I got a message from Cesar Macias. He wants one of his boys to fight in that event. So holler at a brother because we need to hook that up. Robert has their information. I do. And I'll connect you with them. And I had to say that out loud because I want to see that happen. Those boys can throw. There's,
Yeah, his boys can throw.
yeah.
But yeah,
Really?
As soon as George gets some female fighters in this
I'm
card,
down.
there you go,
Yeah.
George.
Right.
I'm always
She's
down to
man.
fight.
You're right here.
So
Just look up,
always.
Jennifer. I mean, Jen. Sorry. She said, "Don't call me Jennifer. That's what they call me at home."
J
I
Flo.
know it sounds so weird when people call me Jennifer.
That's what
It's very formal.
Yeah, it's too formal. I
That's
feel
how
like
this
I'm
when
in trouble
when I get
with
in
my
trouble, it's
mom.
always like Jose or Jose. Jose. I'm like,
Yeah.
What does it say on your birth certificate? Is it Jose?
And my real name is Jose Luis Hinojosa Jr.
That's what I mean. That's it. That's the name they gave you.
So many Jose's in my family. So.
No, Joey's okay. You look like an Italian guy with the slick hair. You know, now you're older, wearing
That's
the
what George said. It was like I look like a hitman right now.
right. You always wear the jumpsuit So you kind of look like, Goomba kind of guy.
I like I like
Right?
a spicy meatball once in a while.
He's got that look. He carries it well.
Anyway, so what age did you start fighting? What got you the feel of the fight? Like, were you picked on in school, or you said, you know what, I'm gonna start kicking ass?
Actually, I was always the quietest kid, like super quiet. My friends like found me and told me I was gonna be their friend. Pretty much, I was just so quiet, but I was always super athletic. And I remember going to a MMA fight when I was, I think, like a sophomore, so maybe like 15, 16. It was my little brother. Someone had invited him, and then like I ended up tagging along with my mom, and we went. And I was just like, I don't know, I was like really inspired. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then right when I was like getting out of high school, that was when Ronda Rousey was like the hugest thing. Like, oh my gosh, this, female fighters and females could like fight and stuff. And so I don't know, I was like really inspired by that. And
That's huge because at that time it was another path for women. And Rhonda did pave that path, whether you like her or not, or like her style or not, or have questions about what she did in the beginning, or whether it was, she paved the path.
oh yeah, definitely.
And hung it up a flagpole so high that everyone could see it.
Yeah,
That had never been done.
exactly.
So so she should be respected for that.
Definitely.
But the game has changed. Now the fighters are savage.
It's way different because even when I first started training and I was 18, about like 18, 19, I was super young. Like, no one took me serious. That was a whole nother, like, thing that I had to go through was people not taking me serious. That's why my striking, I never really had striking because nobody wanted to work with me. They were like, this girl's not going to be a fighter. There's people guys that wouldn't train with me because I was a little girl, like I don't want to roll with you or whatever. And then I started tapping all the guys out, and they're, some people quit. Some guys would quit like jiu-jitsu because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They
That's
would never
amazing.
come back.
The truth is more people quit because of that than stay. The truth is most people quit because of, not just because of girls tapping them out, but because they can't hang.
Yeah.
That's why the percentages from white to blue is one thing, and then blue to purple, very few, and then even fewer to brown, and less to black. There's more black belts today because there's more schools, and that's all a big question about, the true black belts. I
Yeah,
get that.
yeah.
Are you a black belt if you've never been punched in the face? I wonder. You know what I mean? But that's not for me to argue at this point.
I hand out those little trophies to kids, like, oh, you did
Yeah.
great. Here you go.
Yeah.
When I left my old gym and I was looking for a new gym, I tried like different gyms, obviously.
Sure.
I went to this one gym and they were just like, they basically were paying for their belts and stripes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they had it like marked on a calendar.
Yeah, you
like,
get it
how
on this
many
date.
days you've been going to class
Yeah.
and you get a freaking like stripe or something. I
crazy.
was like, what is this?
Participation only.
I went in and tapped out the coach or whatever, and he was so awkward. He just like booked it out of there. He didn't even say bye to me or anything. Yeah, that was crazy.
Too worried there was a camera somewhere.
I bet there was. There's cameras everywhere.
YouTube joke. I've been punked.
Yep. It is so true.
There was like this mom and her kids in there, and they're like, "Oh," she was like, "Oh, look, they're rolling," and that guy he took off, but he didn't even.
And
stay.
some people take rolling for granted, like, oh, how cute. They don't realize that once that choke is sent in, there's a reason you're tapping as hard as you do, because you can't breathe,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or your arm's going to break or something.
That's real. Yeah.
It's for real. You don't know until it happens to you. For people that have not trained.
Yeah, I love jujitsu. That'll always be like my first love for sure. It's just such a mind, like chess game, and it's awesome.
Yeah. No, and the pressure of it, the contact, shrimping, the centimeters that it takes to change things. You know, it's those things.
It's so technical.
Yeah.
I
Like,
like
the more
shrimping.
advanced that you get.
You like shrimping with a net.
One day I will do jiu-jitsu, folks. I always talk about it, but now I lost all this weight. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, come
Hey,
on.
there's big people that do jujitsu. They'll be
Oh,
shy.
yeah.
But I don't want to just, no offense to a lot of big dudes out there. I was a big dude myself, and woo, I can't.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give them that. I've rolled with some big dudes with some leakage. And I'm like, good Lord. Get a wipey.
And it goes through that whole thing like, why does my hand smell? I'm like, oh, what's that?
It's
Yep.
that big guy.
Yep.
Introducing
Gross.
that smell like post coming home training. And there's Like, holy hell!
We got Drake in house. I'm not trying to cut Jennifer short. Jennifer has a long story that we are going to revisit and get them in individually, but we brought Drake in as well, her teammate from CSW. So we're going to pull Drake in, let you go, but that was wonderful. I appreciate your time
you.
But she
today.
is coming
Thank you
back
so
for
much.
the breakdown.
Yes.
She's not gone forever.
No. We got to do this again because you got a long story that we didn't even touch. But let's bring in Drake and we'll
Thank you
switch
guys
you
so
out.
much.
And we can't wait
Thank
to see you.
Jennifer Flores coming up, Spar Star.
Yes.
Is it November 27th?
27.
Woo!
Yes.
Longshoremen's Union. I think it's Wilmington. Some people are saying Long Beach. To me, it's the same damn area. Right? Drake, what's up?
We got Drake,
My brother.
not the rapper, but Drake in the house.
Right?
What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
CSW's finest tonight, male and female, digging them both, right?
Yep.
Drake Flores. And what's your nickname again? I had it written down. On your-
Bad taste.
Bad taste.
Yep.
Bad
Yep.
Taste.
I dig
Used to
it.
Call me back then. Bad taste.
Really? Huh?
For a
I get
different
lot of
reason.
Questions
For
about
other
that one now.
I'm scared to know why.
What?
Yeah.
We'll keep it at that.
Yeah. My parents were like, "How'd you get that nickname?" I'm like, you
I don't shower after I train.
You never ask someone how they get that.
They were going to call me the marinator, but I became bad taste.
Oh man.
So the parents know. How do they feel about you fighting?
Oh man, that's a long story. So, when it first started, they were real mad. So I was in medical school actually. I just got out of high school, not med school, but I was going to school for health science. And
No, I
stuff
get
like
it,
that.
I
You
get
know,
it.
on the normal kid path, and that's kind of what was the problem. Was the normal kid path. I'm not very much of a normal kid, me or anybody on our team for that matter.
Yeah.
So one thing led to another. I quit baseball, started fighting, found CSW, and ever since then, like, never looked back. Never thought twice about it. Trained every day since then. Never left the gym. Was there from morning till night. And yeah, my parents hated it. They were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?" You know what I mean? Like, we thought you were doing this. We thought you were doing that. And then
And now you're hugging a bunch of guys on the floor.
yeah,
and
exactly,
Jennifer.
yeah,
I saw you hugging that guy for an hour.
What's great about it, I see a lot of different camps, but with CSW, I mean, it's like a family. It's like you're all like a big brotherhood. And
No,
it's just-
definitely.
and, it proves the point with the last event that
Yeah.
something went down. You're all like a family.
Oh,
And you had to
definitely.
call Papa Bear and say, "Yo,
I really think
Yeah.
it's more like a gang. CSW is more
We are a
like
crew,
more
yeah,
like, and
we're
I
the
see
bad
Jennifer
crew.
nodding. That crew's more like a gang than a family.
Oh, yeah.
Family's one thing, but a gang backs
Yeah.
each other up. And this is a testimony to what Joey was saying. What we saw at a recent fight is that the whole gang got into it, and in a respectful way. Yeah.
Let's keep it."
Yeah, exactly. And it's a gang in both ways. I
Yeah.
feel like you come in and you start training with
You
us.
get jumped in.
You get jumped in, and you better have a good reason why you're not going to be on the team anymore if you're leaving. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. No, Coach Ben has even stated that if you don't want to train, then you're really not going to be on the team. You got to train.
No,
There's
definitely.
you're not halfway in.
No, definitely. Well, that's what he says. He's not interested in training guys who are not trying to be world champions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't see what's the point in doing anything in your life if you're not trying to be the best at it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when we come in every day, all we're focused on is getting to the UFC, sharpening our skills, getting better at what we do every day. And we're in love with our craft. You know what I mean? If you don't love what you're doing, this is especially one of those things you should not be doing for fun. You know what I mean?
This is a guy I should be interviewing more often. So well spoken. I just love that, Drake.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're a
Had some
commercial for your damn team. I love it. No. One thing I find interesting about CSW is that not only do we get high-level training for grappling, high-level training for striking, but there's also a connection to traditional martial arts, which you don't see in a lot of places.
Yeah.
The connection to Guru Daniel Santos,
And Bruce Lee.
right? That's direct. You don't get that anywhere. Like, that's
Yeah.
a pretty deep thing for me, especially my age bracket. Bruce Lee was the dude. You know what I mean? That's who I saw when I was a kid. And he expressed that, he mixed it up by boxing. He made those first initial, what we call MMA gloves, 4 ounces. He made those. He was the one that innovated that.
Yeah.
So to have that lineage through Dan Inosanto, I'm like, that's really freaking mind-bending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And that's what's crazy, too, because when I was younger, I was a big fan of martial arts because of that. My
Yeah.
dad would watch Bruce Lee movies
Sure.
and Enter the Dragon and all this stuff.
My
I'm like,
stuff,
man,
dude.
I'm trying to use my nunchucks
Right?
in my room. So, yeah, it was really cool. So once I started training at CSW and I saw that that's where the lineage came from, I'm like, wow, that's really cool
It's
to
deep.
think about. You know what I
It's
mean? Where
some deep
where
stuff.
it comes from. And then even further down the line with Coach Eric Paulson, who I was in diapers, and this man was in Japan
Yeah.
submitting heavyweights, light heavyweights, winning belts,
Catch wrestling.
doing all these things.
We didn't get to talk about that with Jennifer, but jiu-jitsu and catch wrestling, very closely related, not at all the same.
Yeah.
There are some things that are similar, but there are some advantages to being a catch wrestler that
Yeah.
people in jiu-jitsu don't know.
Yeah, and that's one thing why I fell in love with catch wrestling also in the beginning, because obviously everybody knows jiu-jitsu. Everybody
Right
in MMA,
now-
that's the main like
Yeah.
go-to grappling,
Yeah.
right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. Jiu-jitsu is amazing.
Absolutely.
It's a good skill to have. But
Yeah.
Coach Jay Martinez actually is one of the guys too that was work with me a lot and would tell me like if you do catch moves, these jiu-jitsu guys are not used to these catch moves. Like they're not used to the same traditional moves that they're used to doing.
Yeah.
So when you do these things, you're gonna catch more people off guard, and
Sure.
it works well actually, mixing both together. Obviously, like you said.
Yeah, a lot of schools teach within a system. And once you've learned their system, you advance and so on and so forth. And as you roll with those guys, you learn their system. Where catch wrestling, it is more intuitive and it's aggressive in a way that the attack plan doesn't fit into the jiu-jitsu attack plan. So it teaches you to step it up to that MMA level. So I can
Yeah.
see where that transition for somebody like Jennifer, especially coming from jiu-jitsu, is like, whoa, this is a whole other can of worms coming out here, you know? It's a trip.
Yeah, it's kind of nice though. That's something
Right?
I liked about MMA that I fell in love with is there's always something new to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're never. I mean, if you're cocky if you go into a gym and think you know everything, because there's not one day that I've gone in and not seen a technique or seen something that I'm like, wow, I've never seen that. You know what I mean?
You're in the wrong gym if that's
Exactly.
what you see.
And not everything's going to work, obviously, but like you said, when you're making your own style, some things will work in a weird way because you're using
so
it that
right.
way, you're setting it up a certain way, so it's fun. It really is like being a true artist and
Yeah.
putting together your favorite things and what you like, and then you start to see yourself develop and grow, and you're like, oh, this is cool. I like this.
What naming conventions do you guys normally like use? Jiu-jitsu terms or catch wrestling terms like kimuras? Are you calling them like double wrist locks? Are you like
So that's funny. So actually, Coach Eric is always says the moves like the Japanese names, which is really cool. Which I've wanted to
I
try
love
to
that.
learn,
So
'cause I
traditional.
love it. Yeah. And Gordon Ryan is also a guy who uses
Yes.
it like that. So I think it's cool. So I'm like,
Yes.
man, I need to learn them. But at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to remember them. You know
It
what I mean?
is. Even the judo throws, when you learn those, right?
Yep.
It can be confusing, and you're trying to remember the move. So if you don't connect that,
Yeah.
John Delo was big on just teaching us stuff. Going, I never got a name for anything at one point. I know what. Hey, do that thing I taught you. You taught me 15 fucking things. What do you mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just did them, and everything became very instinctual and intuitive, and like guard. There's X guard, and how many guards are there? 1,000 rubber guard, all these different guards. And I didn't fully understand until I went against some other opponents from other schools. You start training at other places, which is kind of frowned upon a little bit, but you do it. And then you understand that it's just guard.
Yeah.
They have their way, their system of attacking within guard, but it's just guard. And once you have your instincts and you keep yourself in tight, 2 in, 2 out, whatever it is, all those basics, all those fundamentals, then you attack.
Yeah.
unless it's warm guard?
I get it. Unless it's Robert's worm guard, yes.
Too many guards there at this point, huh? Yeah.
It's weird, but they
Yeah.
all have these names, but then don't be intimidated. Let your game shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of it too. I feel like people just want to be special.
It's
we have
true.
we have our own guard. Like
Right?
we're all doing the same guard. I remember
Right?
one time I was like, I want to go to Thailand and hit some pads or something.
the
One of my
dream.
buddies like,
Oh, it's the dream,
He's
dude.
like, that's cool, but we hit the same time mitts in here. Like, what are you gonna put some short shorts on? Just like we're all doing the same martial arts, man.
You break my heart.
Short shorts.
Yeah.
I thought that because jiu-jitsu, we want to go to Brazil and train. We want to go to Rio and roll in the streets in Rio with all those guys, right?
Yeah.
Muay Thai, we want to go to Thailand and kick bamboo and, calcify our limbs, right? We all thought that.
Yeah.
The guy downstairs tells me, the fuck do you want to give them your money? Give me your money. I'll teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
And he was right. He was absolutely right because he's
Yeah.
like, you're going to pay for a plane. You're going to pay for a hotel. You're going to fly around the world. You're going to trust somebody you don't know. Just give me your money. He's
Seriously.
absolutely right.
Most of it's for the experience, the facade, and all
Well,
that.
I think we all are inspired by the fight game, and the origins come from those places, and that's a beautiful thing as an artist, a martial artist, to want to learn and gain some of that early fundamental stuff.
Yeah.
It has changed. Whether it be Muay Thai, whether it be Jiu-Jitsu, it isn't even the same game anymore.
Yeah.
With MMA and with the way things have evolved, your camp alone,
Yeah.
right?
That's
a
what's
whole different game you're learning. You guys are, the prodigies of what came before, and now your game is going to be different. you guys
Yeah.
are gonna push it.
That's what's cool. It's a developing game and it's still developing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like my dad would tell me it's a trip because he would watch UFC 1 and UFC 2 and see this style versus this style. You know what I mean? More
I
of a
loved it.
spectacle than
Watched
a sport.
it,
which is-
loved it.
Yeah, it was great. But
It was an
now,
exhibition.
What it's turned into now, it's really beautiful what it's coming into because
Yeah.
even like for example the other day I was watching the LFA fights and Joey Dorado was fighting and he's looking good
All
on the
these
stand-up.
afros, dude, coming out of CSW.
Yeah. So
The
he was
Fro
looking good-
team.
looking good on the stand up, and he did a switch stance, went to his southpaw, and the guy's like, man, nowadays this is like a prerequisite. He's like, before you'd see guys, all right, this guy's orthodox, he's southpaw, he's southpaw.
Because it
But
was frowned
nowadays-
upon because of takedowns.
Yeah, but nowadays everybody knows how to switch stance. Everybody
If
knows
you
how
don't-
to do this, do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you don't, you're behind the curve.
You're
you know
half
what I mean?
in,
So-
half out.
In wrestling as well.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. It's a good point that you make.
The train of
So-
thought of training overseas. Has you ever played telephone when you're a kid?
Yeah.
Same thing, right? He says one thing from Thailand, gets all the way to America.
Oh, it's different.
Oh,
Same
definitely.
instruction.
Yeah.
So there-
You're right.
there-
That's
there's
a part of that.
Some parts of it, for sure. But it's also like immersion, no distractions. That's another big thing about why people travel.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize it, but when you actually, I mean, yeah, you have that mental mind state of concentration and training, right?
Yeah.
But break a habit. I suggest anybody to train overseas or somewhere like out of their habitat.
He's right, and Robert is actually one of the. It's a weird thing, but he's one of the greatest coaches I've ever talked to because he understands things in a methodical way. He's been in the game with me the whole time. I trained where he had a family, but his knowledge of the game was well ahead of what I was doing physically. And it always remained that way. So it's weird that he was always ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do this? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Take me another year. And I'm like, oh, you told me that last year. We're that close that I remember. And I'm like, but it didn't make sense last year when I was a blue belt and I got my
Yeah.
purple belt. Now it makes sense. But he knew it when he was a white belt. So I'm like, I don't understand. His brain is really, and people are that way.
There's
Yeah.
a little cheating. I started jujitsu in 90.
He's a cheater. I'll give him that. Don't tell his wife, but he's a cheater.
I took jujitsu lessons from a boxer because the only people in Hawaii that did jujitsu, the only place they had was a boxing gym. So what happened was Sonny, who was my neighbor, was learning jujitsu from the Gracies because they were at his boxing gym. And so like there was no classes, no belts. I was a kid, I had no money, so he would come home and teach the local younger kids like jujitsu because he needed other people to train with. So that's how I
I
started.
didn't even realize that.
That's cool though. That's cool because I feel like it's part of the journey of being a martial artist. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to do this, there's tons of kids that'll walk in and say, "Oh, you know, I want to fight," and the coach is like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." There's 100 kids that watch one UFC fight and like, "Yeah, I want to fight." You know what I mean? But the true martial artists will seek out anything and everything they can go to find extra knowledge, extra.
You learn
coaching.
from everybody.
Anybody when I first started, anybody who would give me the time of day and just hold mitts for me, I'm like, I'm happy with it.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like anything that was gonna develop me even further and further and get me closer to where I wanted to be.
Smart.
Even when I first started off, I was visiting schools, you know what I mean? I'd go places here and there, and I'm like looking at these guys. I'm like, man, I don't know if this is the right place for me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm beating up everybody in the room, and I don't even know anything, I'm like, I don't know if I should be here. And then I walked into CSW, saw one of those practices, and I'm like, these guys were banging, and I'm like, yeah, this is where
That's
I need
kind
to
of how
be.
we felt. We did it together, and we went to like some rec center, and they were lining up. I'm like, oh, this is like family stuff. I don't want to do family stuff. I went over to like a karate school where they had jujitsu, probably Japanese jujutsu.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is not for me either.
Yeah.
And then we ended up here, and we looked, and it was like a cage, and people were getting cracked, and we're like, where do we sign up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just fell in love, and we never left.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
12 years ago, 13 years ago now. You know.
Yeah.
I've got injuries as long as you two have been in the game that have stuck with me. That's how injured I am at the moment. You know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass.
So this up and coming fight you have coming on. This is for a title.
Yes, this is for a title. Yes.
is first
This is
title
my
win.
first title fight actually.
Awesome.
So we had for Sparstar. For Sparstar, yeah.
Woo!
The state will be
Yeah.
soon after this one. After I get
Right
this
on.
one, but
Double.
so yeah. So I had an opponent originally, and then some people pulled out. I guess about a week out
What?
for personal reasons or something like that.
That's
So
what they all say.
That's what they all say. Yeah,
Bitch
but I mean,
assness.
at the end of the day, it's amateur, man. Like you know what I mean. I'm trying to fight the best of the best. Whoever says they're the best or thinks they're the best. I'm not cocky, but I'm confident. I want to fight someone that's good. I want someone who's gonna push me, because we're all looking to go pro here. Nobody's trying to be an amateur superstar. I don't care about this Sparstar belt. I'm thankful that I get to fight for it, but do I really care for it? No. Am I gonna go show it off a little bit.
He means he
whatever,
loves it,
but-
Tony. We absolutely love it.
No,
What
I
he
don't-
means is he wants the UFC belt, but he needs the Spar Star belt
Nothing-
first.
No. It's nothing against amateur. But
We love
just-
Spar Star.
Our heads are.
My man's ready for UFC.
Yeah,
But he wants
brains are
to
just
fight for that belt.
Ben's just got us so looking so much
No,
further
we're cool.
ahead than
We
where we're
get
at,
you.
You know what I mean? So
And Tony knows that because Tony Padilla, T-Bone Steaks from Spar Star, is breeding tomorrow's stars. You guys.
oh, 100%. And watching
That's
that on
how it
Instagram
happens.
is sweet. When he
Yes.
posts, I think it was D-Rod he posted,
Yeah.
was fighting at Spar Star. You know what I mean? Guys like that. You see these guys fighting at Spar Star, and I'm like, man, it gives you that extra motivation. Like, all right,
right.
I'm in the right place. I'm on the right path. You know what I mean? So I'm just really focused. I'm in here trying to be the best me I can be, trying to go get these belts, kill it, and turn pro, man. I want to be pro. That's been my dream since I was a kid, so.
Keep dreaming it, man. It's how you get there. Don't give up.
I don't want to forget because he watches the show, but also my friend John Hosokawa, like he did judo all his life, so that's kind of how we started. 'Cause
That's
I
right.
too. And he was when we kind of started showing us like submissions. Sonny came after, jiu-jitsu came a little after, judo was first.
Robert has a good friend on the island that's a
Yeah,
badass.
He's
He's an unspoken
island? What
superstar, Oahu.
Oh, Oahu, nice.
Like he trained with Nick, you know, Savant Nick.
I don't think so.
He's one of Eric Paulson's friends, so sometimes he'll come to your school and he'll teach Savant.
Oh, okay, nice.
Again, more of that traditional style coming out of CSW that you guys are getting contact with. Savat with the shoes on and that French style.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of that in a lot of other camps.
Yeah, and that's
But
what's
you
cool,
guys
man.
see that, and those kicks are different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The footwork's different. The stance is different.
Yeah, so that's basically our whole base is XTX, so it's Savat Thai cross training
Yes.
basically. So that's what's cool because our night classes that we run is with Coach Eric, Coach Mark, which is Savat, catch wrestling, jiu-jitsu. So we get the traditional martial arts at that time, our fundamentals down, working on all the basics that we should be grinding through every day. And then when we're with our team and with Coach Ben, that's when we get more of like the developed look of MMA. You know what I mean? It's a more modern look at what we're in now, and we can blend both of those styles and really just basically take the best out of everything and put it all together. So it's all in-house. All the coaches are there. All the tools you need are there. Everything you need. All you have to do is show up. You know what I mean? That's all Ben says. Show up, and it'll happen.
Do the work. Put in the time.
Trained Savant too.
Yeah, we do actually. So French Savat. We even do like Dutch style kickboxing sometimes. So we mix it up, try to dabble with everything, like I said, and just take the best of everything and see what fits your style the best and try to create the best fighters possible.
That's an important thing for people that are watching that haven't trained or got to this level is that everything that you're taught is useful, but it may not work for you. But take the things that work for you. Because I see people doing shit that I learned with them, and they're killing it. I'm like, I still can't. It doesn't work for me. I got Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. You know what I mean? I'm not going to finish that Darce the same way because I can't reach.
Yeah.
You develop your own
You know?
style,
Yeah.
Just taking whatever
Piece it
works for
together.
you.
Yeah. That's crazy too, because Coach Eric, that guy's a wizard on the ground, man. Like even at his age now, he'll hop on the mat and do moves. Even Javi will say he does moves smoother than I do right now.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But he'll show 5 different techniques, and everybody's like, you see the white belts, like, oh my god, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, pick the one you liked, pick the one that's gonna work best for you, and just drill that thing, and just drill it.
I see him, Coach Eric Paulson, and the way that he attacks and his entries for taking ankles and taking knee bar. It's so quick that you miss 3 or 4 steps in the middle to get there. And then he's already broken someone's leg. I'm like, fudge.
Oh, he's just so
Right? It's just
smooth, yeah.
frightening. It's like a tiger. You know what I mean? That's where the martial arts comes in, is that some of those movements they took from animals. You know what I mean? Dan Inosanto will teach you that, the guru, is that those kind of things came from animals. They watched how animals attacked other animals. And from that, they adapted to where they enter the body through guard or whatever they're doing. And then Eric Paulson is swift and uncomparable to anybody his size and age.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's a big dude, but he moves like a 110-pounder.
Yeah, but
Right?
that's just being a masterful, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
yeah, he's
just
a master.
years and years and years. Like he doesn't even have to think about it. You can see
Right?
he's just doing
And he
it. It's
finishes
just
with a
auto.
strike. He'll break the
It's
ankle
auto.
and then pop, pop, and
Yeah,
out of nowhere. I saw him almost, break the person's ankle off
Yeah.
and then smoothly just work into a punch.
Yeah.
And I see the student like, whoa.
yeah. That's what I love and respect too about our coaches so much. Like Coach Eric, like I said, he still moves so natural. Like Coach Ben, like she was saying, like is so explosive, but he spars with us, rolls with us. Like
Yeah.
that dude is crazy
They're all hard.
explosive at the age. You know what I mean? Not like they're
No,
like
it
they're not
happens, bro.
old, but
It
I'm
happens,
saying,
bro.
like,
Rub
this
it
is a
in,
young
you see
man's
the
game, you
gray.
know what I mean? Like
I know
20
about
years.
to say,
It's crazy how athletic. Even Coach Mo, he practices
feel
with
you.
us. I mean, they're still training out here. Jay Martinez, all these guys are training, and they're good, man. They just,
Yeah.
like I said, it's just a developing style. As a martial artist, like I'm not gonna fight the same I do now as I'm going to when I'm 30 or 40. You know what I mean? You get smarter. You move
fight
differently.
knowledge.
You use technique over power and explosiveness. So it's cool to see everybody develop, and they're still true martial artists to this day.
Your
They're
fight
not.
knowledge,
They're
yeah.
not just coaches now. Like he's still in love with the game. He's still trying to learn. He's still in this just as much as we are. You know what I mean? So
You
it
know
makes
what?
everything that much easier.
You're absolutely right. I get out of the bathtub with a technical lift. Right? I don't even get up off the ground like a normal person. You know what I mean? I whoop and I'm watching myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey,
yeah.
hey, I do.
Yeah,
I
martial arts
do.
make you a psychopath.
I don't hold a pillow like a normal person, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
definitely.
If you want a good flex, buy a squatty potty. That thing works.
Tell us what that is.
It's one of the greatest inventions you can buy.
Are you guys shitting in
man,
public?
I'm
What are you
missing
guys
out,
doing?
apparently.
It's an amazing thing.
Are you guys pooping in the backyard?
Yeah,
What are you
I'm
doing?
missing out over here, I guess.
Spread.
What is it?
It's
It's a piece of plastic that you just buy, put your feet up, squat.
Over your toilet.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Does that help with hemorrhoids? What does it do?
It actually-
It just makes it a smoother poop.
So what it does is it changes the way your body sits, and it makes your
Intestines.
intestines like
Whoosh.
I feel like I'm an expert, and I have perfect posture when I'm doing my
No,
business.
when you fart, it's a different story, bro.
You can't teach me how to do it any better.
It literally
I'm a
makes you-
pro. I've been doing that for a lot of years.
Try,
Can't say I've tried one.
If someone with your feet dangling when you go on the toilet.
That's it, right.
Lift them up.
He's right. I'm like a kid in a shopping cart. My feet are dangling away.
I'm like, who's that? Oh, that's
Robert,
He's in
I
the-
have to yell, Robert, come get me. Bring the wipies.
That's funny.
Hey, again, coming up on the clock, but I don't
Yes.
want you to go. I want you to stick around. I'm going to bring Adam on. Jennifer doesn't want to be on. You stay on.
I'll stay on. Okay,
You
all
got words. No, she's shy. She's shy. This is Adam, Bloody Knuckles Adam with a broken neck,
That's right.
right?
He got with this.
He got dorsed by a female, but hey, we're not going to tell
Hey,
anyone.
Jen caught him in the parking lot.
No, he actually. What I was told is that he got hit with a Superman flying kick.
It's
Not a punch.
reality. I got the parlay wrong, and Christian got mad. I apologize.
Hey. No, you're gonna make my boy catch a case right now.
Oh man.
No, besides all that,
Disclaimer over here.
If you would have watched our show with our boy Christian with the JD and Wings, he was
I gotta
sweating.
try that place.
Dude, he tried the out sauce, and you got to look at some of our old videos. He was sweating like crazy, couldn't even talk, and just nuts. Now he
This
got
is
the-
from his new sauce, really. you
What
know?
else? This guy he comes in every week, even
I
like
just get abused by all these fighters, and I'm the betting guy.
even 2 weeks ago, he had freaking hickeys on his neck. I don't get it.
Hey, that was not 2
that's
weeks
on our
ago.
show.
That was a little while
That's
ago.
Maybe that's what it
That's
is.
like-
Lying sack of shit.
This guy, man.
Well,
Lying.
I can't
Yeah,
help.
the old
hey,
headphones around the neck,
Hey.
the good
No.
old tricks.
I can't help
Back in
that
the
ring
day.
girls like to speak to me from time to time.
I mean,
all
I don't
right,
have a neck.
I
That's
can't
why.
help it.
They're like, "Are you the bookie? Is this the guy?"
Hey,
Oh yeah.
6'2"
That's
and
how it
all
goes
this
down.
sexy can't be contained. All
That's
right.
how it goes down. No, that's how it goes down.
Well, you know, she initiated the conversation, and
Do it.
Yeah.
It was with the card girl too from another fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
Lucky. I kid. That's the truth. It's the truth. That's
Oh
a card
man. Oh man.
let's just tell the world now, Joey.
Yeah, ladies man.
You know?
girl. Neck brace now.
I'm a charismatic. I like to think I'm a charismatic, good-looking, nice guy.
You're pretty hot with that brace on, brother.
I agree.
sweet.
I think it's
It's a
pretty
fashion
sick-ass
statement.
necklace. See the abuse I have to take here. All right, Robert, you want to bring that card up for me? I am your ever-loving host, Adam Youngblood Araby, doing this Bloody Knuckles breakdown, which this is not financial advice at all. You know, just disclaimer, this is not any type of financial advice or things like that. This is just a fight breakdown show of who I think is going to win these fights. To
But it-
kick off this great, amazing card between Caitlin Vieira and Misha Tate, we have Adrian, Mr. Knockout Yanez, coming in at a minus 310 favorite, taking on Davey Grant, who's coming in at a plus 210 underdog. This is a fight I'm incredibly excited for. Both guys in the bantamweight division have had great fights. I really love Davey Grant's last fight against Cheeto Vera. That was just something exciting to be had. And Up until that fight, he just looked like an incredible beast. But as we know, goalie's got to take the hometown hero, Cheeto Vera. Like, come on, like that was a scrap for the ages. But Cheeto came out on top. But Davy Grant really showed a lot and has come to his own, especially within being a little bit of an older fighter at 35. Has really just shown some great potential within the bantamweight division. But Adrian Yanez, though, looking like a young Mr. Gamebred at down 135. I was watching his Dana White Contender Series fight early, like the other night, just showing a few of my housemates, and they were just shocked just to see this guy. Like, his hands are so incredible, especially with just the level of feints that he has. Just how crisp his technique is and how he likes to get his opponents moving. Just with the simple hand movements he likes to use. You look at his last fight against Randy, I just remember his nickname, Zohan. You really got to see how the level of striker that he is. Because Randy's not no slouch. He's an incredible striker as well. But he's just so confusing with his movements and the way he's able to move and cut the cage off. And just his hands are just so fast. Even for 135, he's so fast. So I like Adrian Yanez on this one. I'm taking him by knockout as well. I think, he's going to get caught in a brawl because we've seen Davy Grant. He likes to engage a lot and kind of likes to push the pace and press forward. But Adrian Yanez is just too good of a counter striker and too accurate. I think he's just going to get that counter punch.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably take Giannis on this card or on this fight also. I've been actually watching him since the Contender Series also. Rosales actually is the one that mentioned him to me because we're always looking at fighters trying to see who's good, who's up and coming, who can I take something from, you know what I mean? So Rosales actually told me, he's like, check out Adrian Yanez, he's pretty good. So I watched all his fights. I have Fight Pass, ESPN Plus, all that stuff. So been kind of studying him and looking him through. And yeah, he definitely has some really clean hands. Really, really clean hands. Good striking. Good forward pressure. That's something I like watching fighters with a lot of forward pressure because I feel like that's a way I fight. So it's kind of cool to see him move around, strike, not get hit. You know what I mean? Seeing that, put on that boxing science on someone. But yeah, he definitely gets caught in some scraps. I mean, UFC, there's going to be no pushovers. You're never going to get a matchup with a pushover. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good fight. I think I probably have him by finish also.
I love, too, how you brought up. He also knows how to cut the angle. He's great. His angles are incredibly amazing. He just knows where to be at the right time.
Yeah, and it's something so underlooked, too, I feel like.
Yes,
those angles,
I agree.
A casual watcher are just he's ripping this guy apart. And it's like, no, it's not that easy, man. He's not just
there's a lot
there,
going on.
Yeah,
I was trying to explain that, again, to my roommates who just are not into fighting at all. And they're just like, oh, man, that dude's a beast, all that. He must be tough and everything. Well, I'm like, no, there's so many things that's going on that you just can't see unless you train.
Yeah. Definitely.
Joey.
I'm going for Adrian Yanez.
It's been one of my more favorite puns you've had.
I know, I try.
That was a good one. Next one, we have Tyler Santos coming in a minus 360 favorite, surprisingly to me. Taking on Jojo Calderwood, who's coming in a plus 270 underdog. Tyler Santos, great striker, good jiu-jitsu, up and coming in the division, really tall as well, good size and range for the division. Joanne Calderwood was just this close to a title shot and then lost it to Jennifer Maia, but it's right there. Hasn't looked as good, not as great, but we know what she brings. Great striking, knows how to use her range. Decent takedown get-ups, decent takedown defense. Definitely prefers to keep the fight standing, and also as well, likes to keep it around the cage. Likes to keep it up and against the cage or pressure opponents against the cage, and kind of utilizes her spatial awareness really to her advantage. I really like Taylor Santos on this fight. I think she's just, a little bit hungrier, has a little bit more in her tool set, a little bit more to learn in her overall MMA game. Joanne Calderwood, we know what she's going to bring. We know this is going to be a great scrap. We know, we're going to see some great high-level striking in this fight. But I just think that Tyler Santos' ceiling is just a little bit higher. But she's a little bit younger, not as much experience. Not the same level of competition, I'll give her that. But I think the talent is really there. I really think the talent is there. Just, again, being a Brazilian that grew up in Brazil, has been around the game since she was young, very tall, and has a presence when she's in the cage in that division. So I'm liking Tyler Santos on this one.
Yeah, I'm honestly not too familiar with these girls, but I'd probably have to take Santos on this one. I mean, she's young, she's up and coming, and once you get near a 500 record, I feel like you start to not care about the losses, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I feel like she's probably has a better bet of taking this one.
Santos all day.
Santos all day. No pun on this one.
Read me bedtime stories.
That would be lovely.
It's pretty cool. Like,
Her voice is great. Like
my kids' stories.
she has the like most calming voice in fighting. Like she's like just that Irish or was it Scottish accent. You know, you would never expect her to be like a fighter at all. She's just,
kick your ass.
yeah, she's
My
like,
lucky
yeah,
charms.
you know.
I'm magically
Hey, those
She's like,
soft-spoken
I
people,
really
though,
like,
man. You got
you know-
Anderson Silva and...
Yeah, she's
couple
like
other people.
she literally could just be a voice actor if she wanted to and just read children's stories. But
Yeah.
world class cage fighter, I respect it. I respect
like John DeLo is very soft spoken too. He's a very kind, gentle man.
it.
George
As he
St. Pierre.
flips you off on camera. Moving on, we have return of Ronnie Yaya, who's coming in at a minus 105 underdog, taking on Kyung Ho Kong.
Who?
We got it right. Kyung Ho Kong, who's coming in at a minus 115 favorite. This is a great fight, especially if you're in, as we discussed, if you're into jiu-jitsu multiple time, I believe ADCC or IBJJF world champion, multiple time just world champion within jiu-jitsu. Ronnie Yaya, who's an aggressive grappler. When he gets just a hold of any of your limbs, you can expect it to get ripped off. But Kyung Ho Kong, wealth of experience, great well-rounded fighter, super aggressive within the cage, like willing to take you down, great takedown get-ups, great takedown defense, great submission skills, super like explosive striking skills as well, even though he's about 34, I want to say 34, yes. And you know, knows how to pressure, knows when to take off the gas, but also knows how to finish fights. He's a great finisher within fights. This was one I was bouncing around back and forth on a lot, you know, but I'm gonna take Kyung Ho Kong on this one just because it's been a little bit of time for Ronnie Yaya, you know, 37 years old, not the most confidence inspiring thing, but with the grappler style, they can at least extend it out a little bit more. John DeLo giving you a look, you know, as I refer to an older man, and but. This is a great fight. You're not going to want to miss this, honestly. It was between this and the Davey Grant Adrian Yanez fight for my fight of the night, personally. If you love grappling, this is one you're going to want to tune in for. But I'm taking now I'm getting it. Kyung Ho Kong. There's a few different ways to pronounce it.
Yeah, they had it all backwards up there. I'm like,
I know. Like, I had it down here as Kyung Ho Kong. I looked up there. It's, you know, Kang Kyung Ho. You know, I gotta update myself on Chinese culture or South Korean culture.
It comes first, right?
It might, John. I don't.
Yeah, because his
Oh.
first name is probably Kyung Ho, and his last name is probably Kang. Or his family name.
Okay. Well, I need to correct
Yeah, I
myself
don't
and
know.
go educate
maybe, I
myself
don't
on
know,
some
yeah, 'cause
culture.
all the other ones are. All the other
we
ones
have
are first name
so
first.
who you
Kang
going
Kyung
for?
Ko or Kyung Ho
Man,
Kong.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Probably Ronnie. You know, it's been some time off, but I think he can get him down and get the submission.
I respect it. Joey,
I think Yaya is going to beat the butthole out of Kong.
that's been my favorite one of the show so far. Robert, if you want to move the screen up a little bit for me. We have a amazing welterweight fight, one that I'm definitely very excited for. We have Sean Brady, you know, coming in at a minus 165 favorite. Someone who actually took on our friend of the show, Christian Aguilera. You know, just proves to go the level of competition that Sean Brady's taking on, former Cage Fury champion, taking on Michael Chiesa, who's coming in at a plus 135 underdog. This is an incredible fight you're not going to want to miss. Both are just great great contenders within the welterweight division. Michael Chiesa has looked like a different beast since he's went up to welterweight. I really think just that difference in not cutting that much weight has made a big difference, especially for his cardio and just his overall strength. You know, he's not... When you see fighters drain themselves, you really see they're only at half of their physical abilities sometimes. You know, their potential could be a little bit dampered by how difficult it is for them to just get through the weight cut. When they don't have that pressure and can just focus on training and their strength and conditioning and just coming in at a little bit more of their natural weight for their age and years training and experience, I really think it makes a big difference. But Sean Brady's built like a brick shithouse. Like at 5'8", at 170, that dude's arms are as big as damn near my head. Like even with the neck brace on. Like, his grappling is insane.
Gosh, it's so beautiful.
He is one of the he doesn't get enough credit for his grappling, Sean Brady.
Is he a
He
Henzo guy?
What's up?
Is he a Henzo guy?
I don't think so. I'm not quite sure where he's from. But I just know that like he's actually Duke Rufus guy, I believe, because he's trained with Paul Felder. I know him and Paul Felder have trained together before because Paul Felder specifically talked about how strong Sean Brady is. He's so incredibly strong. To outmuscle a guy like Christian Aguilera says something, you know. Oh, Hunter Gracie Philly. Never mind. I take it back. Thank you,
liar.
Robert. Hunter Gracie Philly.
He trains under Daniel.
Oh, there you
Hunter
go.
Gracie is a Henzo guy.
That's beautiful. Oh, good to know.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that explains why he has such insane grip strength then. Because this dude be just trying to rip dudes' heads off, and on top of it as well, has great knockout power to like back it up. And he's just gotten better and better, and undefeated at 14-0. Like when breaking in, taking on opponents like Michael Chiesa, former Cage Fury champ. Biceps the size again of my head with this neck brace on. Like I don't know what else to say that I'm taking Sean
Neck
Brady
brace.
in this fight.
And I like Michael Chiesa a lot too, honestly. I'm a big fan of him. Like I really like the dude, but if I have to go with like my analytical pick, I'm probably gonna pick Brady also.
Yeah. Also, how hilarious is it to be fighting the guy that commentated your fight before you got into the UFC?
Really?
Yeah, like I believe Mike Chiesa commentates for Cage Fury sometimes. He's been brought on. Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact.
That is funny.
Yeah. Joey.
Brady.
Just simple. Just keeping it simple.
Keep it simple. I mean,
Keeping
I
it
like
simple.
Chiesa. I mean, I've been a big fan ever since the freaking whatever it was, the show that back in the Tough Enough, whatever it was called back in the day. But yeah, Brady all day.
Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter, that freaking show. Yeah, there you go.
First to completely other promotion. Like
Whatever. Same
amateur
shit.
promotion. All right. Moving on to this main event. One that is an interesting fight, really. One I was a little bit surprised to see, but when you get into the X's and O's, kind of fascinating. You know, both fighters come in at even 120. We have Miesha Tate taking on Caitlin Vieira. Caitlin Vieira was like, again, this close to a title shot, and then Irene Aldana kind of ruined that with the check left hook, but came back, looked great in her fight against Sijara Eubanks, had a unanimous decision loss against Yana Kunitskaya, but I really feel like with this fight, like if she wins, she's back, you know, could honestly take a fight for the title. You know, Amanda Nunes. There's not many people who's willing to fight that lady. She's a bad woman.
You just had somebody.
except for Jennifer.
Jennifer said she wants to fight.
Jennifer, you know.
Jennifer, I know that's Jen.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Jen.
Jen. I'm sorry.
Jen, I
Jen?
She doesn't
apologize.
yell at you, but she yells at me when I say that. That's weird.
Well, she said she's gonna give me a badger smack. So I'm just.
Badger smack. Well, don't break my neck, please.
yeah,
I can't handle it
He
anymore.
can't take one right now.
Sorry,
I can't take
Jen.
one right now. Give attention. Put all your anger towards this guy. And
Every time I say the real name, she's gonna smack me 2 times.
yeah,
I ordered 4 of them already.
please. I don't need to be put in a bigger neck brace than this. I'm gonna be
think you
coming
can
on
get
the
a bigger
show
one,
next
huh?
week
I
with
don't
like
think you-
all the like headgear, and it's like, what happened? Well, we called Jen by Jennifer,
Right.
and
He's gonna have
we
a
made
cone
this.
just to
I'm gonna
talk
have a cone at this point. This neck brace will just keep getting bigger and bigger.
So, Jen, would you like
But-
to fight Miesha Tate too?
That would be cool, yeah. She's been doing like her last fight. She looked really good.
She's
came
looked
back.
incredible.
Yeah, she definitely like adjusted with the times. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So-
And she's one of those people too. You want to fight just because her name. If you beat
Yeah.
Amisha Tate,
You wanna beat the
everybody's gonna
cupcake
know,
Tate,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Everybody's gonna know. Yeah. So
Like BJ Penn.
exactly,
Take that fight tomorrow.
exactly.
Yeah.
One of those household names that everybody knows. That's for sure. You're always gonna have a target on your back.
What's
Yeah.
crazy too about Miesha Tate since her comeback, her striking's gotten better. Just
Yeah,
look at her
no,
jab.
definitely.
Her jab's like so crisp now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
looked so much better, and then also too, that's after having, I believe, like 2 children.
Yeah, well, if you
At
see her in
35.
her pregnancies and stuff like that, actually, like on Instagram, I would like look at some of her stuff. Dude, she had like abs like immediately after she had the baby. Like she was dieting. I mean, a lot of women use it not to say as an excuse. You know what I mean? They go through a lot. You know what I mean?
We can't speak.
So,
to that.
but they kind of eat whatever they want. You know what I mean? But she was on a diet. She was doing all these things like a true fighter. You know, a true martial artist. And after the pregnancy, she looked great, man. She
looks in better shape now than she did when she made her first run as a champion. To be honest,
definitely.
But Caitlin Vieira also as well, world-class fighter, very well-rounded, knows how to pressure, knows how to keep up, great grappling as well. This is one I was bouncing back and forth on in my head a bunch. You know, both are like just again right there for the title shot. I'm pretty sure though, like Miesha Tate's gonna have to win more of a fight before she gets a title shot. I say Caitlin Vieira wins, then it's title shot because who else are you gonna match her up with? I'm taking Cupcake Taken on this one. I'm gonna keep the faith on Miesha Tate. I feel like she's gonna have the ball rolling because Caitlin Vieira has not had a win within 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years since her last win. That's not very confidence inspiring. Miesha Tate just came off an incredible win. She's also though recovering from COVID. I will say that. You know, she was recovering from COVID, but even in that fight week, she looked fine. You know, she had a little bit of a cough and it affects everyone differently. We're not here to get into politics or any of that, but she looked all right. Hey, she looked great. You know, that's my only thing.
This guy.
You know, like, again, I'm going to be coming on next week with an even bigger brace, you know,
So
for all
who
the
you
things I
going
say. I'm taking Miesha Cupcake Tate, though.
Yeah, I think I'll take Miesha Tate also. I think I'll take her.
And I'm going for Jen Flores next week. And we got a big shout out from Rick Hollywood. He says, "What's up, guys? Can't wait to see you, all of you guys, at the next Saturday." So, Rick Hollywood, we'll see you, brother.
See you then.
So, and who do you got, Jen?
What?
Between Miesha and
Oh, Miesha, yeah.
all day,
Miesha all day.
Miesha all across
day.
the board, huh?
Yep, we're all taking Miesha.
So, where can they find you on your guys? Okay, you guys have a fight next Saturday. Awesome! I can't wait for this. It's gonna be
Back up
amazing.
here,
Ty-
Jen.
you can
Come
just
on.
you can-
Come on.
Just get back over here. Be part of the group here. Now, we can't wait to see you. Got a title shot. We're gonna see you win that belt. We're gonna see you knock some girls out.
Yep.
Now, let them know when the fight, the date. Give your whole spiel. Let them know like you want to buy some
All the
tickets.
shout outs.
November 27th, come watch. I'm super excited for this one. Been training super hard. I'm just excited. Just come
Where are you
watch.
fighting? Where are you fighting?
I'm fighting Sabrina, I don't know her last name, Lopez. And it's Longshoreman's Hall in Long Beach.
The promotion?
Spar
Star.
Stars.
Is this the chick at a Team Body Shop?
Where?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Yep. So yeah, I'll be fighting that same night also. We also have some other teammates too that are going to be there that are not here right now, but it's going to be some real good fights. We have Julian, who's fighting that night also. What's Meat's real name? I don't even know Meat's real name.
Me neither.
Oh, Zach. So Zach Sautel, he'll be fighting that night also, and 40 Mendez will be fighting that night also. So it's gonna be a lot of Badger Crew guys out there. So definitely gonna be an
5 of
exciting
us.
night. A lot of fireworks. So you're definitely not gonna want to miss it.
And you guys have any
Thank you.
sponsors right now? Give a shout out to any sponsors you guys
Yeah,
have?
shout out to
Love
Love Leaf,
Leaf.
Core Evolution, CSW definitely is our home. So Coach Roy Ball, our boxing coach,
Yeah, Roy
Coach
Ball's
D
awesome.
Flow, everybody. Appreciate all you guys, all the sponsors, and yeah, we're ready to go, man. Ready to kick this thing off.
And when I show up next Saturday, I hope I get smacked this time. I'm requesting that slap.
You'll be wearing the neck brace next week.
And where can they find you on your social media?
My Instagram is jflowjanelle, JFLOJANELL.
And then mine's Drake_CSW. Super simple.
Adam.Araby as always.
And you can find me, Joey the Bull, everywhere from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Grinder.
I'm going to break that arm. You should come with a freaking brace in his arm next week. Hey, but we're not going to be on next week. It's Thanksgiving. So y'all have a safe Thanksgiving. Don't eat a lot of food.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Enjoy, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Eat all the turkey
Enjoy it
for
me,
Jen.
please.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Eat
all she's
extra
gonna eat
for
is
me,
salad.
please.
Some leftovers.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah,
her
save
the
us some
leftovers.
Give me a plate.
I'll bring a plate. I'll bring a plate on Saturday. I'm like, here you go. Mira.
Send me a,
Yes,
send me a
please.
a victory plate.
A victory plate after you guys win.
Yes.
Seriously.
Anyway, this has been another great show of Gym Crashers. We love you guys. Peace out. One love all the way.
Peace.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Great one,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Awesome. Thank you.